Welcome, traders. Welcome to Money Mitch. You guys already know where you guys are at. Welcome to the show. How we doing today, traders? I know that it's a little bit red. We got a little bit red back here. But guess what? We're going to stay in the fight. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk some market sentiment. We're going to talk about the pullback in tech. Is this story here to stay, or could we find the bounce? We got some Reddit stocks to get into. We got to talk about, is this the buy the dip time? And I got a story about retailers out there right now. So definitely, guys, stick around, guys. Hit the like, and let's get Money Mitch started. It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch. What up, traders? How we doing? I know that there's some stocks on the move. We will do our best to get to them as fast as possible, but definitely let me know in the chat if you guys are seeing these monster rips. Looks like someone out there, AJ in the chat, talking about that they got in one of these monsters based off of ideas here on Money Mitch. Definitely, guys, smash the like. This is what it's all about. I hope that you guys in the end find wealth. That's what I'm here, guys. I'm Money Mitch, story investor. You guys can find me on Twitter. What I'm here for, guys, is the bull market is here to stay. And if there's a market opportunity out there, Money Mitch is here to help you guys find it. All right, guys, let's get into this. I know that there's a lot of love out there in the chat. Want to say what's up to all the loyals, everybody that's here. What's up, Bill? How we doing? Steve, Yogi, you guys already been in the house always. AJ, Quebec, Richard, what's up, Mike? Alexander, hey, it's always good to have you guys with me tonight. Let's get this show started. Let's take a look at the overall market, see what we saw in the market today. But at the end of the day, what we're going to be paying attention to is, of course, the market did that old psychology scare to us today. I think, a lot of people had kind of this face on, just that face of fear in the corner. So the real question is, are you like that right now? And is this move going to continue breaking down, or could we get a rebound and kind of just a fake out look? So, of course, the Fed tomorrow, guys, is going to be releasing the policy statement at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be going and actually streaming the meeting here on Benzinga. So stick around, guys. The fun part is really going to be when we get into the Q&A. That's when you guys want to be paying attention to the market. That's when we could see some fireworks start moving. Of course, the Feds are going to respond to the recent data and showing the inflation across the U.S. economy. Can they continue pushing the market? Pump and pow. I think we got this. We got this, guys. Pump and pow is going to make it continue moving on up. I'm going to be watching for us to make that move and continue ripping, baby. So if you guys think the pump and pow is going to get us up there, put a like in the chat. Let's keep it going. You guys already know where you guys are at. Money Mitch. Woof, woof. The dogs go barking. What happened? We'll talk about woof in a little bit. We'll get to that also. Yes, you saw it, Steve. We'll talk about PETZ. That was a good run today. I know if somebody caught that, I hope they're enjoying it. Pump and pow, you know it, Alexander Gill. That's exactly what we got here, and that's what I expect tomorrow, guys. So let's go ahead and let's take a look here. Overall market, what do we see here? So this is a 5-minute chart, and you can see these quick little spikes here near the end, right? Now, one thing I want to see is in the after hours, can we just quickly get back up? Because if we just start pushing back up towards these highs and getting back up here towards the 25 and then maybe 26, honestly, I think we could shake this. Let's look at the Qs. The Qs is very important, I think. In this, we got a little bit more of a downtrend. But really, I mean, we've been having quite a rip here in the Qs as of late. Look at the daily chart. We've been pushing on up, trending. So as long as it kind of holds this trend, I'm not concerned, guys. I'm not worried. I'm not, I'm not folding my paper hands here, guys. I'm staying in the battle, watching this trend. Want to see this trend continue. It can even go sideways tomorrow and then break back out, get back above 350, and then you'll see a lot of people feel like they get left behind. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. See if this one can pull back and push it on up. We'll see if this one gets it back over that level. Really, I want to see it get through that high. The high there is 344.52. I'd see a sideways day maybe tomorrow, or just maybe a quick push right back up. Of course, pay attention to big tech, guys. Why do I think this can continue to run? Is because at the end of the day, the question really here is the pullback here to stay? Is tech really pulling back here? Or is it just a quick pullback and then a launch forward? I think we're going to see that launch forward. Really, I could put on some bigger names that did good today. Shopify did good today. Look at that. It still did good. I talked about this one yesterday. Still looking well. Still pushed on up. I think this one can reverse trend. And on some of the other ones, I mean, you can look at Amazon. Amazon's still looking good. I think this one could just continue ripping tomorrow. It'll keep pushing. The real key is, can we get Apple to continue ripping? We got that one, a sideways day. Can we get a nice push on up? That can continue to lift us up. Another one that I'll be looking to see if it gets back up, Tesla. Tesla got a big push down today. We'll see if this one gets a lift kind of near that 580s tomorrow and kind of goes sideways for a little bit. We needed to get out of this trend. It keeps going up towards that trend and running right into it, reversing back down. So that's Tesla there, guys. We're going to keep an eye out on this. The real key is, can we get some bigger names? Let's say Microsoft to break out. You know, Microsoft had a push up towards the resistance, but it didn't get towards that high of 263.19. Can we really start pushing on this one, get through 260s? Those are the ones that I really want to see. My screen is not clear. Well, if you want, definitely, I make sure that you have the wheel clicked at the bottom at 1080p. If you don't have it at 1080p, of course, it's not going to be looking the best. So definitely get your quality up to the top. If you want, I can always full screen it also so that you can see a little bit better. Let me know if that makes it better for you in the chat. All right, guys, let's keep it going. The question is, and I'll put it out there, guys. What are you guys thinking? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys think this tech pullback is just a little pullback. Put a 2 if you think this is more of a tech crash. All right, guys, let's keep paying attention. There you go, Yogi. Refresh that. Let's keep it moving. All right, next up, we're going to get into some Reddit stocks. I know that someone mentioned ALF. You killed it in ALF. Luke had the CEO on his show last week or so. That's what I wanted to hear, Mike. Questions like that is what I want to hear. At least we brought you the stock before it made this big rip, and boy, what a rip on this one, guys. Let's go ahead and pay attention to this. Let's get a little closer look here and see what happened on the 5-minute. See how you could have traded this one. Look at the pre-market setup. It does a 1 push up, 1 pull down, second push up, second pull down, third pull up, pull back, extension. That's what you guys want to see. Then the key is holding VWAP. When you break that VWAP, a lot of the times what you're going to get is kind of this little choppy look where you get that break, back above, break, back above, break, back above. So what I do in a chart like this is I'd go back a little bit further, use a 15-minute chart, and now you can really start seeing the support here keep coming in. And then you can use that 15-minute support to at least get that risk to return look that you could have attacked today in the intraday market. This one had a good look, went all the way up there towards 671. After you saw that kind of hold that 545s, get above, push towards that resistance, come back, and then recover it. That's when it really looked strong. Going into the power hour, this one definitely got a push. It recovered that 530s, got up there towards about a little bit above 550s, then really held the 550s here on the pullback. The low here being 543, and then starting to push on up in the last 45 minutes pretty much of the market. So definitely let's keep an eye out on that one. We'll see if that one can continue moving. There's a lot of 1s. I think it's a tech pullback. There's some 2s in there mixed in there. They're thinking that it could be a tech crash. We'll see what it does. Let's keep it going. All right, guys, let's focus in. Let's get into the next Reddit stock, GOEV. I don't know if you guys saw this one going into the close, but there was even someone in the chat saying that they saw this one because of Money Mitch. So let's take a look here. What did we see? And man, this one had a nice little trend line. Was just going sideways, and all of a sudden, what do you need to see, guys? We need to see a breakout followed by volume, and it got a lot of volume here, guys. 15-minute candle. This is 11 million shares traded, and I'll tell you right now, before it was only trading about 78,000 shares in that 15 minutes, going all the way up to 11.8 million. That's definitely a push. This one can get really lifted. Now we have multiple highs that it's going to come after. There's another high here at 1197 tomorrow that I'd be paying attention to. But really quickly, you could see a pullback towards 1050, kind of that look where you dip down right quickly, and then you get right back up towards the levels where you get up there through 1150s, trying to go through that 12. That's what I'd look for tomorrow. A kind of a little push back down under 11, and then a real push through 11, going straight through that 1150, heading towards that 12. And that's GOEV. GOEV is definitely one to keep on watch. Options quickly doubled. Man, I can imagine. I can imagine those options. They definitely ran. All right, let's keep it going. Another one that I saw coming today. I'm not sure if this one's a Reddit one, but Arrival moving at the end of the day there pretty strong, guys. Look at the hourly chart. Let's go to the 5-minute chart so you guys can see that push. Look how this one was going sideways, and all of a sudden it got a major lift here. 35,000 shares, then 573,000 shares, then 674,000 shares. That's a pretty good increase from a level where before it was only trading about 7,000 shares, 11,000 shares. So that's not even 5 times. You're talking more than 5 times. You're talking 50 times the volume increasing on the 5-minute chart. Yes, definitely a little bit of a skyrocket here in ARVL. Keep your eyes on this one tomorrow. Looks like there's a couple of these names that they're pushing, so we need to keep an eye out on this. This is a EV maker, one of my favorite. I'll tell you right now, I love Arrival for long term, but the real key is this a Reddit pump? And that's what we need to figure out. All right, guys, so yesterday we talked about Wolf, right? Wolf, we were going to see if this one was going to continue running. This one actually pulled back, but I like the sideways action. It kept the gains, believe it or not. I know that some people think that this was kind of a bad look, but now that you've gotten this bottoming action, let's see if this can push back up through 26 tomorrow. 26 is what I'd look on Wolf to see if it can start pushing tomorrow. One of the things that we pointed out was that it could get a potential pump and a sympathy play with PETZ. I talked about this before the close of the market yesterday. And look how this spiked at the close. It went all the way up there to 380s, then retraced to the support around 270s. And at the open today, around kind of this 12 o'clock time, look at PETZ. We talked about this one. It rocketed up there towards 425s. What a move there. I hope somebody was able to grab that one as it made a big rip up. And I hope you were able to sell into that big profit. That was an interesting one. Definitely PETZ. That definitely made a move up. XL and FSR too. They all been pumping on GOEV. We'll definitely keep an eye out on that one. GOEV, that was a big move. So we'll see if this can keep going. Someone calling out Tell in the chat. Tell's not a bad one. That's a good looking chart. Let's see this daily. Okay. All right. The big thing is it's holding kind of that high over here, and it's really starting to push back up. The real question would be is if it can keep getting through these next levels. It's going to have a lot of resistance that it's going to run into. You got to see the volume come back in this one, but Tell is one I'll definitely watch to see if it can continue the trend. Really, it did a nice hourly bounce. Next resistance is going to be up by the 458s. See if those 458s get rejected or if it gets through that level. Let's go ahead and let's keep it going. I got some other stocks to talk about. What's going on out there? How we doing stocks? How we doing chats? Let's go ahead and let's talk about some gambling stocks. I know you guys saw DKNG get hit with that short report. We'll talk about it when we return, and we'll see if gambling is turning around.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
So I love about you guys, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.
All right, traders, how we doing out there? Let me know in the chat if you're like me and you like to do a little sports gambling. I can't blame you. I definitely like to do a little sports gambling. And if you have ever done sports gambling, I'm sure you've heard stories like I have, of, hold on a second. I got to call my bookie. And we've all heard those stories. I mean, at the end of the day, sports betting hasn't been legal for, long now. It's been legal for essentially, you could say, 2 years. But really, we're starting to really see if sports betting is going to take it to the next level. And really, these are stories that are already being told in sports betting industry. If you've ever heard about sports betting, you probably heard about mob relations and kind of organizations behind gambling stocks and that kind of push. But really, DKNG isn't even using the company really that is claimed here to be giving them the lift. They got their lift because of the industry. And that's really what I think is happening here. But Hindenburg taking their shot at them. What I think happens is DKNG definitely looks at their board and says, you know what? If we need to remove part of this so that we can just continue moving forward, we definitely will. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's see what we got. Let's keep it going. Let's look at DKNG, see what we got today. See that bounce. Please stop gambling. Richard, why, man? I'm making money. Don't call me Money Mitch for no reason, man. I got to make some money. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. DKNG. Look at DKNG. Big bounce back. It got actually some support there by Credit Suisse. It's pretty much saying the same thing that I'm talking about, how they're not reliant on that platform. It's a technology platform that they're not using. The reason they're not using is they already had a deal with another company. Eventually, they were going to start using this company, but I think what they'll use is that they'll go ahead and say, we'll just pass on using you guys. We'll use somebody else because of the negative press, but we'll pay attention to see what happens here. Big lift up there from the 45s to the 48s. The question that happened, really, Penn took a bad fall. I didn't expect this one. So this one took a kind of a red look. The real question tomorrow is if this one just goes strictly into the green. That's what I would like to see for the whole kind of industry to get back up here. And so that's what I'm going to be paying attention to, because RSI, one that I really like, just kind of pulled back towards that 13. But really, this has a chance to just come back roaring tomorrow and getting above 14. That's what I'm going to be focused on, to see if it can get back ripping and to see if gambling really just starts kind of coming back, or if that was a real hit there on the Hindenburg short report. Now GAN has been pulling back. It did a big pullback. It's right off support. Same thing I'm going to be focusing on. I wouldn't want this one to break 17. I'd want this one to get back up above 1750s tomorrow and looking strong. We'll be focusing on these as we continue to see kind of the push. Nobody is listening to Hindenburg. I know, but they've been getting things right. Unfortunately. But I agree with you. I'm not focusing. Don't want to be no Money Mitch. Hey, you don't got to be no Money Mitch. You got to be Daniel Flores, bro, and just get that money. That's all that matters. All right, let's keep it going, guys. How realistic are the AMC guys' expectations? I think AMC can keep going. Let's take a look right quick. I talked about this on Sunday, that if we got above 50, it looked good to get towards that high. That high is 77.26. I think we can continue moving towards that level. It's been pushing on up. Let's see if this one gets towards that level. We talked about this on Sunday. Now let's see. 2 days in a row that we've gotten green. Do we get 3 days green in a row? We'll focus in on this tomorrow. The big levels to watch are when we get up towards this kind of $68 level. Watch to see if we get a rejection there. That's kind of the next resistance that I could see it getting up to tomorrow. All right, let's keep focusing in. What else do we get? A lot of people thought I was crazy to think that AMC could go to 100 by the end of the week, but hey, you never know. It possibly could, guys. All right, let's keep going. DKNG's too crowded. Now everyone's underwater. Overhead resistance is going to kill it. We'll definitely pay attention, Mike. I definitely don't think so, but we'll see how that one goes. Biggest thing for me in kind of gambling is Q3 and Q4. When we get into the NFL season, this is when I think you're going to really see the lift. That's what I'm trying to look forward to. It's not necessarily the summertime. It's when we get out of the summer. I really like to look 3 months out because if I can get ahead of a nice trade, I can make a nice big trade going into that 3-month trend. All right, let's keep going. Let's go into some more stocks here. I want to talk a little bit about some retailers that are on my mind. We got about 7 minutes left, so let's go ahead and let's get into that. Next up, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about some retailers here. Let me know in the chat if you guys have done some shopping as of recent, but this is an interesting news. Express and Urban Outfitters and J. Crew are actually trying to increase their sales by offering products from a third-party seller. So essentially creating their own marketplace for brands, the similar way that you see Amazon, Walmart, and Target do this. And so this is a big move because what does it show? It shows that these retailers are willing to step into the shoes of Amazon and try to compete with them. Why? Because, of course, we know that Amazon's been sweeping their feet and taking their business. Now, retail, I think, is definitely back and looking stronger than ever. The pent-up demand that has been held by no one pretty much buying clothes for like a year, and now having the ability to start going out, everyone's trying to look good, whether that's, women buying cosmetics, whether that's women buying clothes, men buying clothes. I think you're going to continue to see this trend continue. One of the stocks mentioned here is Express. Let's go ahead and take a look at it and see how it's moving. All right, let's go into Express, one of my favorite stores. I actually got an Express jacket on right now. Let's take a look here and see what we're looking at. This one got a Reddit push up there towards $8. Let's take a look at the daily chart, see what we're seeing, see if we can get a lift here in going into kind of the Q4. I think you're going to see a pullback, but then I'd be looking for another lift going into that $6 move. At the end of the day, this it's made a big move. If we look out of the pandemic, that's what I want to do. I want to go back to the pandemic time here and kind of show you guys what happened here. 2020, we were all the way up here towards the $4 or $5, and that's really where we did the downturn to the pandemic. Now we're up at those levels. The real question is, can we get through those levels? Now, this is a big resistance, of course, that 559, 560 area. That's where I want to see it get through again. We've had multiple wicks through it. 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times the break out of that. So what we need to see is a quick hold somewhere near this 450 and then a move right back up towards that resistance. So the reason why we want to see this low hold on this candle and then get right back up. So let's see if we can get a small move down closer towards the open tomorrow and then a push back up to that $6 level. If not, it looks like it could retrace all the way back towards this 370, and then I'd have to wait on it to get it through that confirmation level. Let's go ahead and pay attention to these. There's a bunch of retail stocks that have been on my radar. AEO is one I gave for Monday's move. It pushed on up, but it didn't continue the move today. Of course, with the overall market pulling back, that did a nice lift up there at 35, pulled back. Let's see if it holds this support at 34. That's another one that I'll keep on watch. Same kind of area. We're talking retailing, the pent-up demand. I think they're going to have blowout quarters, guys. So pay attention. Let's see if these can continue to move on their way. Got my golden ape. Looks like there's some apes out there. Definitely smash the like. Let's keep going. What stocks are you watching for retail? I told you. So you got to watch AEO. You got to watch some of those. One of the ones that's interesting is LB. LB has pulled back, but this one's made a massive run. The question is, does Victoria's Secret kind of get a run? I was watching REV for a long time. This one made a massive run. So I'm looking for a big pullback in this one. But look at that run. That was a big run. That was a couple days where this one went just straight green. And that's Revlon. That's women's cosmetics. That's kind of the hair products there. But we'll keep an eye out on this one. Macy's chart still looks good. We'll see if that one can recover. It did pull back today. What you want to see on Macy's chart is it get right back above this kind of 860 level. This is what we saw. We saw it pull up. We saw it push back. We wanted it to get back to 20s. So let it get back through that 870 level tomorrow, 1870 level tomorrow. And then we'll see if we can go ahead and try to get back up towards this kind of trend line through the 1960s and up towards that 20 look. And this one is Macy's. What's going on? How we doing, Karen? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. It's always great to see this. Which sectors will boom in this decade? All right, this decade kind of stock. I'll give you just one. I won't give you a sector, but I mean, I can give you an area. I would say 3D long term. I would watch stocks like DM, like Triple D. That one's been pulling back, but long term, I think these are really good stocks. Of course, we're talking for the next decade, but pay attention to these. We'll keep an eye out. SoFi is pulling back down. I know that that's a kind of a SPAC pattern that we were looking at, but SoFi is pulling back down. So keep your eyes on that pull back. We'll see if that can continue to move down. We'll look for cheaper retail to get up. DG has been looking good. Dollar General, if you guys want to see a more higher price retail one, Dollar General has been doing great, pushing on up. Look at the weekly, 4 straight weeks up. Let's see if it can continue pushing up towards the resistance. That's Dollar General. That's ticker DG. All right, last thing I want to tell you guys before I get on out of here, we got another show coming up, Cannabis Insiders. If you guys like some cannabis stocks, stick around. They've been on the move. We were talking about Kern yesterday. I'm sure they'll talk about Kern on that. Coming on next. They'll be on in just a little bit here, so stick around. Last thing I wanted to talk about was Best Buy making the move into selling luggage outdoor grills. You guys let me know in the comments after the show if you guys think that's a good move for Best Buy getting into luggage outdoor grills and kind of outdoor furniture. Let me know what you guys think of Best Buy making this move in the comments below. Like always, guys, smash the like. If you guys like me going through this, I want to continue to supporting you guys and getting you guys some great picks, looking at these stocks, getting these big movers, talking about the big movers like we talked today. We got through some big Reddit stocks that were moving today near the close, GOEV, ARVL, Arrival, and of course, yesterday we talked about pets. Could get that sympathy move, and you saw a nice breakout. So definitely smash the like. We'll see you guys next time on Money Mitch. Stay tuned. Just hit the button. Get over to Cannabis.